Hi, I'm John Paul Raj, and I'm on a mission to make the learning of math fun. So if you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing. On this video, we're going to learn how to factor trinomials, aka quadratic expressions, in less than 10 seconds. Let's go. If you are preparing for a college entrance exam like the SATs, ACTs, or any other competitive exam where the algebraic reasoning is not required and it's a multiple choice test where you just have to mark the correct answer, then I want to suggest this technique, okay? There are many such shortcuts and tricks available online, but this is something that I found very, very helpful and I want to share this thing with you. So without further ado, let's write down the general expression for the quadratic polynomial. That's ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0. And on this video, we're going to consider the case when the value of a is 1. The leading coefficient a is equal to 1. On some other video, we'll consider the case when the value of a is other than 1. This particular technique will work when the value of a is equal to 1. So we can rewrite this general expression as x squared plus bx plus a c. All right, here we go. Can you guys see this? All right. The first thing to identify is the sign of c, the constant term, all right? So we've written it as plus c because that's the general form, okay? But it could have been something like x squared plus or minus bx, because even b can be plus or minus. It could have been plus c, or it could have been x squared, again plus or minus bx, because the middle term can be positive or negative, and it can be a minus c. So the first thing to identify, I'll just write it down, identify the sign of c, the constant term, all right? So the constant term can be positive or the constant term can be negative. Can you see this? There we go. The constant term can be positive or the constant term can be negative. And based on that, our factors will differ. So the first thing, identify the sign of c. Now, if the sign of c is positive, like in this case, your factors will carry the same sign as b. So if b was positive, it would be x plus and x plus. And if b was negative, it would be x minus and x minus. That means both the factors will have the same sign. Both the factors will be having the same sign if the sign of c is positive. And if the sign of c is negative, like in this case, if the sign of c is negative, both the factors will have different signs. So it will be x plus and x minus. It doesn't matter which way you put it, right? It's commutative. So x plus x minus or x minus x plus. Can you guys see this? All right, so it all depends on the sign of c. If the sign of c is positive, the two factors will have the same sign, and that same sign will have to be the sign of b. If b is positive, your factors will be x plus, and if b is negative, the factors will be x minus and x minus. And if the sign of c is negative, the two factors will have two different signs. How to find these factors? Well, you will need to know some multiplication, and then and only then can you actually solve this in less than 10 seconds. Okay, so a quick tip, get to know some multiplication, maybe up until 20 or something like that. That'll really help. So let's try and use these rules and try and see how fast we can do it. So first, let's go a little slow and then we'll try our timed exercise, all right? So let's look at the first one. It says, look at the sign of c. Sign of c is positive and it should be the same sign. It should have the same sign as this middle term, which is negative. That means our factors should be negative. So it's p. So I'll write it p minus, okay? And 15, the factors of 15 happen to be 5 and 3. And there you go, that's 5 and 3. P minus 5, p minus 3 should give you p squared minus 8p plus 15. I think we did it quite fast, all right? Let's look at one more thing where the sign of c is positive. Where do we go? Okay, let's look at this one with n. Can you see that n? You want me to write it somewhere else? You can see this, right? Y squared plus 20y plus 100. Okay, that's positive. C is positive. Okay, that means the factors should be both of the same sign and having the same sign as the middle term. Here it's positive. So we need to have something like it's y, right? So it should be y plus. Look at the factors, 100, that should add up to 20, okay? Those rules remain the same. So factors of 100, 10 times 10 is 100, 10 plus 10 gives you 20. So the factors are y plus 10, which is y plus 10, the whole square, okay? You can make it compact. Okay, one more example. Okay, one more example with the plus c. There you go. T squared minus 8t plus 18. The sign of c is positive. That means our factors, I'm going to write it here now. Okay, the factors will have the same sign. Can you guys see all this? There we go. And it will have the same sign as the middle term, which is a negative here. So it should be t minus. And here we look at the factors of 16 that add up to 8. 4, 4, 16, and 4 and 4 will be 8. So it's t minus 4 and t minus 4. Again, it's t minus 4 the whole square. All right, so you can see that it goes really fast. if you use this technique. Now let's look at the case when the sign of C is negative. Remember I said that the factors, the two brackets, should have different signs, x plus and x minus, but we got to be careful which number goes where, keeping it consistent with the sign of B, the middle term. Okay, so here we go. This is negative 10. So we know that the two brackets, can you guys see this, should have different signs, and it should be x plus, x minus. Okay, and remember this is 10. So the factors of 10 are 5 and 2, but we have a plus 3. That means it should be a plus 5 and a minus 2. Okay, x plus 5, x minus 2, that should give you x squared plus 3x minus 10, and that should be the correct answer. Let's look at the next one. Okay, that's 44 with a negative sign. C is negative, so your two factors should have two different signs. This is in m, so it will be m plus and m minus. The factors of 44, well, you can think of 2 times 22, but that's not going to add up to 7. But 4 times 11 is 44, and that can add up to 7. But remember the signs, okay? So when I'm putting 11, it should be here, okay? M minus 11, that's with the negative sign, and m plus 4 will be here. 4 times 11 is 44, but the signs should be consistent because that is what's going to give me a negative 7. Negative 11 plus 4 gives me negative 7. That's what you got to be careful, all right? So the next one, again, negative C is the C is negative 63, and that's a quadratic in T. So we can write that as T plus and a T minus. Okay, 63, 9 and 7 give us 63. But remember the sign is negative. So I need to put a negative 9 here and a positive 7 here. All right. And even if the number seems larger, with enough practice and knowing your multiplication tables, you can do these questions in less than 10 seconds. Okay. So let's recap what we discussed. The first thing to identify is the sign of the constant term, right? The C. If it's positive, both of the factors will have the same sign, and the same sign is the sign of the B, the middle term. And if the constant term C is negative, then you're going to have one positive and one negative. But remember how to choose the numbers. They must stay consistent with the sum of B, right? They should add up to B with the same sign. Now let's try and see whether we can solve some of these questions in record time as was promised. Okay, so we're going to solve 3, 6, and 9, and let's see whether we can do it under 10 seconds. Okay, you are here to watch and witness, right? So where's my timer? Is my timer ready? Cool. This is x squared plus 2x minus 15. Here we go. All right, it's a minus, so it's going to be plus and minus, and that's going to be 5 and 3. What's the time? Yeah, got it, in under 10 seconds. One more question. X squared plus 10x plus 21. Okay, so here we go. The time starts, and we've got plus, and it should be 7 and 3. The time is again under 10 seconds. We're done with that. All right, the third one, let's do it again. X squared plus 5x minus 14. Time starts now. Here we go. It should be plus and minus 7 and 2. Again, under 10 seconds. As you saw, we've seen how to factorize simple quadratic expressions in under 10 seconds when a is equal to 1. In the next video, I'm going to show you another technique where the value of a, that coefficient of x squared, is greater than 1. See you in that next video.